Great. How's everyone doing? Good. Can you hear me back there? All right, because I want to make sure I'm ensuring impact. All right, okay. Insurance. Boring. Life insurance. Who's turned off? You love life insurance? Maybe only in this conference because we kind of geek out about it. But for the everyday average Joe, for everybody out there, when they hear life insurance, they're usually turned off. It's the least sexiest word, I believe, in financial services. What do they like hearing instead? Right? Stocks and commodities. They rather hear GameStop, AMC, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, Bitcoin, Ethereum, meme coins. Have you guys seen those cute, Shiba Inus? Right? They call them meme coins. Like, that's what's hot. That's what social media wants us to hear. And that's what they think of how we can make money and make money fast. Pre-IPOs, Forex, real estate, all great. I'm not knocking this stuff. But really, when it comes to a financial plan, what does it really mean? Where does it fit? A lot of us, we're just chasing money. The industry is just showing us what to do, but in the end, we don't have an end in mind. That's what I find that a lot of my clients struggle with. They think, this is what I have to do. This is what everybody else is doing. This is where I should put my money. But you know what? What usually happens after is this, because all that fits on the top. But what they lack is a foundation. So when there's a pandemic, a recession, a tweet from Elon Musk, this happens. And their world gets turned upside down because they did not have the right foundation. They didn't manage risk correctly. Because managing risk and talking about protection is boring. Safe, secure. Who really wants that, right? But how can we change that dialogue? How can we make this normal to talk about protection and, right? Make it cool, sexy, and fun. Maybe it's the industry that needs to change their language, because what I feel is a lot of times people in life insurance, they're talking at people versus to people. As a life insurance agent, we're trained, hey, it's all about income replacement. You're gonna die. Make sure your family can afford your funeral. Or, hey, let's leave an inheritance to your family. But if you see here how it stacks up, that type of conversation is the least of their concerns. No wonder they're turned off. What are people really concerned about? They're concerned about these three things: retirement, long-term care, and investment loss. I challenge each and every one of life insurance agents and financial professionals to kind of speak in this sense, because that's what the audience wants. That's what America needs to hear, is how can you answer my financial concerns? And how are we doing this? The reason why those are the top 3 financial concerns, because there's a lot of silent killers to everyone's portfolio, your wealth, and is these unexpected risks. 6 in 10 Americans live with at least one chronic illness. Approximately 39.5% of men and women will develop cancer in their lifetime, more than 1 out of 3. Every 40 seconds, someone's having a stroke. I don't know how long I've been speaking, but that's a lot of people already. And because of all these stats, it's the #1 reason why households file bankruptcy is because of medical debt. And statistically, most of these people already have health insurance. Here's my public service announcement. Health insurance covers your medical bills, hopefully, most of it. But who covers your lifestyle, your income, your mortgage, when life unexpected happens? And that's where life insurance is going to come in. That's where life insurance is going to be very sexy, because I'm about to introduce to you guys the new type of life insurance that statistically only 1 to 2% of the nation has any idea about. And a lot of people need to hear this, and I'm glad that I can be here to share the good news, because in every day, in every community, in every family, life events happen, some expected, some unexpected. And these things we have to prepare for. And that's what insurance agents are supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be preparing them, managing risk, right? Protecting them. And as an insurance broker, I carry multiple carriers. But I didn't appreciate what I did until this company called National Life Group. If you haven't heard about them, they've been around since 1848, A+ rated, they're mutually owned, right? And they came out with this concept to kind of help me understand and how to serve my clients better. Instead of looking at spreadsheets, numbers, data, financial analysis, I started just asking the right questions. Because when you ask the right questions as a servicing agent, you'll get the right answers. And these questions made me more intuitive, made me more connected to my clients, helping them, giving them more peace of mind. They're more open to telling me their biggest fears and worries, so I know how to give them peace of mind. So I challenge you to just look at these puzzle pieces and ask the right questions. What if I die too soon? Will my family thrive or struggle without my income? How about my business? What if I become ill? What if I get disabled? And of course, I pray that my clients live long and healthy lives. We all want that, right? But why is living too long a problem too? Will you outlive your money? Life is kind of sad like that. But what's amazing is the life insurance industry has realized people are living longer now, and we need to be competitive, we need to be service-oriented, and we need to make sure we're answering people's needs and giving them total peace of mind. So for me, how I look at myself as a life insurance agent, how I train my agency is we literally stress test each and every one of these puzzle pieces. So when I sit down, I look at your portfolio, I look at your family, I look at your wife, your husband, your kids. I literally put myself as your CFO of your family, as the older sister, as the best friend, as the daughter. That's how I treat every one of my clients. And I wish everyone that's in life insurance does the same, versus just push your product. But can we stress test each and every one of these puzzle pieces to make sure if and when life happens, they're going to have some sort of peace of mind, some sort of protection, so they don't have to be financially devastated. So what's going on in financial services that many of you may not know about? There's a revolution happening. And this just came out in 2007. Because traditionally, life insurance, the one that you get turned off about, right? The boring, old school one, that's been around for hundreds of years. Life insurance traditionally has been done one way: death insurance, right? When you die, your family gets money, or there's some sort of savings given. But in 2007, the industry shifted. They introduced something called life insurance with living benefits. Now, what does this mean? In all products, term, whole life, fixed universal life, index universal life, the whole industry is shifting. But only a few companies carry this, okay? So the products will still have death insurance. But here's what's included for free. I repeat, for free. Critical illness, chronic illness, terminal illness, and critical injury riders, or long-term care riders, depending on which carrier you want to use. So that after 30 days, usually, if someone gets a heart attack, stroke, cancer, disability, they get any of these illnesses, I'll give you the fine print on the next page, they could access about $1.5 to $2 million tax-free. How many people could have used this yesterday? I'll take it one step further. What's great about this is they can use this money for whatever they want. It's cash, tax-free cash, so that you can protect whatever you need to protect, ideally your lifestyle. Money for deductibles, replace your income, experimental treatments, and lots more, whatever you need. In our agency, we had a 6-year-old girl. Her family cashed out about $450,000 so that she can go to Mexico, spent $30,000 a month for alternative care. We were able to prolong her life for 18 months when the doctor told her she only had 6. I had a 24-year-old guy, brain cancer. Cashed out $104,000 quit his job and bought his mom a car. I really don't care. I just care that you have options. I just care that our clients have options, because when you have options, you have hope, and when you have hope, you can cope. Yes or yes? So here's a clip of the brochure from National Life Group, okay? Again, it's only one of our carriers, but they are the leaders of living benefits. There's a great book on them called Cause. If you're a financial professional, you want to study your industry, stay relevant, right? Because I believe life insurance is a thread that touches everybody. I don't care if you're in real estate, you're a doctor, you're a janitor, as long as you have a heartbeat, you love people and your family, you need to know about this. So here, you can see there's a full portfolio: term, whole life, fixed universal life, indexed universal life. And this is what life insurance agents, I feel, need to do. There's no one size fit all. There's one size fit one. And if you're not structured properly or in a position that you cannot offer everything, I feel maybe you're kind of limited, right? And the only person that gets hurt is the client. So if you're a buy term, invest a difference, cash value is trash value, whatever, I don't care. I just care that you have these riders, these living benefits included for free, or if you want to be technical, no additional premiums. So terminal illness, if you're terminally ill, the doctor says you have either from 6 months to 24 months, depending on the carrier, right? You can access your money. Chronic illness, if you can't do 2 out of 6 activities of daily living. Cognitive impairments included. Alzheimer's, dementia, heart attack, strokes, cancer, coma, anywhere from minor all the way to life-threatening, your client, your family, your partners will have options for no additional cost. A revolution. Now, a lot of times, like, Denise, what's the catch? It sounds too good to be true. Why would they do that? Right? I'm going to tell you, it's so good it's true, but unfortunately, it's too good for certain people. Since we've been less of a secret agent in our agency, right, because we've finally been proud to be a life insurance agent because of living benefits, a lot of time people are contacting my agency, hey, can I get a policy if I had cancer? My dad just had a stroke. So-and-so has a GoFundMe account. What do you think my answer is? I'm sorry, we're too late. You don't buy insurance when you need it. That's too late. And even if you do qualify, I do have clients who have history of thyroid cancer or certain type of cancer, has been cancer-free for 10 to 12 years. They'll still get approved, but they'll get rated, and they probably won't get that rider. Are you following? They won't get that rider includes cancer, but they'll get the other 3 or so included. So they are free, but you do have to qualify, okay? So since this living benefits revolution's been out, National Life Group, one of our carriers, has been paying about $1 to $1.7 billion in claims. They did $1.7 billion in benefits just in 2020 during a pandemic. So here's my message, especially when I'm talking to financial professionals, or especially if I'm just talking to anyone who's just financially responsible. I just want to educate, empower you to ask the right questions. Maybe sometimes, if this is on YouTube Live and this is on Facebook, I challenge you to just ask the right questions for you and your family, right? If life happened, would you rather, if you were to ever get sick or disabled, would you rather use your pension, your 401k, your home, or living benefits? Thank you. But a lot of times when we look at our portfolio, all these charts and percentages and all that, but in the end, what does it really mean? Just ask the right questions. Because in the end, all I care about is what do I get, right? Are you going to pay me out? Are you going to keep your promises? Am I going to be taken care of or not? You don't know if your health insurance is going to pay your medical bills. You don't know if your car insurance is really going to pay, right? You just pray, cross your fingers, they do. Same thing with life insurance, but you know, a lot of times that's why you want to work with credible companies. National Life Group, one of our carriers, been keeping their promises for over 173 years. And I like this. This is one of our marketing campaigns. If you follow our IG, it's called Insuring Impact. Because sometimes, again, stop talking at people, talk to them, help them understand. Help them stress test their portfolio. And this is what we're doing. So there's a current crisis, and I like that I'm here at a global conference for insurance and finance with the most brilliant minds, because I believe it takes influence from the top down, all around, and from the bottom up, okay? But a lot of times you guys have so many titles and designations, and usually people don't want to listen to a life insurance agent. They rather listen to their CPA, they rather listen to their doctor, they rather listen to whoever they trust. Usually the life insurance agent is the least trusted, just survey-wise. But I want to change that, because I believe that we can work together holistically. And how are we going to do this? Because there's a current crisis that's happening that's affecting you, me, our family, our future generations, and everyone around us. Statistically, there's 332 million people in the United States. About 70% own some sort of traditional life insurance or retirement plan. So they have that puzzle piece of, if I die too soon, hopefully my family's taken care of because I got the right plan, it's structured properly, right? And I'm putting away to all these other investments to hopefully, have money when I retire. Good. I'm glad you're doing that. But here's what I'm going to suggest too, and what you're going to learn. 98.99999% of the population has no idea about living benefits. Stats. Fact. So how can we work together to solve this crisis? The 70%, I challenge each and every one of us as a financial professional, hey, policy review. Can I give you an upgrade or use a supplemental policy to make sure you don't have this blind spot that's going to wipe out most of everything you worked so hard for? The 30%, we're going to educate and protect. We're going to communicate. We're going to speak their language. I'm an elder millennial, okay? I'm visual. You only have 4 seconds of my attention. If it's not cool and relevant, I don't want to hear it. Maybe we need to diversify a little bit, because the average financial professional is what? A 51-year-old white male. So no wonder there's an underserved, overlooked community. Maybe we just want to give people access. And that's what we're doing at agesofchange.today. Giving people accessibility to living benefits is a moral imperative for us. It's our cause, it's our calling. If you meet our agents, cancer survivors, caregivers, those who've lost everything, no one dreams about going to be a life insurance agent. You get called to do it, right? So there is a lot of people, millions of people that need our help. How can we solve this together? At our agency, we're looking for partnerships, collaboration, anything to raise awareness. If you visit our website, if you're a client and you just have concerns, hey, can you just review our current policy? Can you audit to make sure I have the right thing? Can you stress test these puzzle pieces? If I die too soon, become ill, or live too long, is my family going to be okay? Maybe you're an accountant. I have a lot of accountants, CPAs, enrolled agents. You're good at taxes. You're good at all that. And again, maybe divest some. How can we protect their portfolio? Maybe you're in mortgage and real estate. This is a great form of mortgage protection. Not just bankruptcy, but most of home foreclosures are directly tied to a critical illness. We all know these stats, and I know protection is not fun to talk about, or fear-based type of a thing, but I'm not selling death. We all die. Sure, we can talk legacy, inheritance, but remember, that's the lowest of those financial concerns. Let's talk about living. Let's talk about lifestyle and protecting that. That's a different language. That's where millennials, younger people, you can talk to me. I was 14 when I had cancer. 17, I had a reoccurrence. That's my gung-ho-ness for medical school. 5 years in pharmacy, 5 years in diagnostic imaging, and my soul was just dying in there because I just wanted to help people. But I felt so helpless when people couldn't afford care. This company found me as a client first. Eldest daughter to a single mom who immigrated from Vietnam. Didn't know anything about this. We just trusted people. We weren't educated. And luckily, I was able to find that she had a crappy plan. Not her fault, our fault, because we weren't educated properly. Hence why this is a calling for me to be here, to not only educate, to raise awareness, because we all know financial wellness requires financial awareness. But if you don't know, that's my fault. That's our agency's fault. That's our industry fault if people don't know about living benefits. But if you know about it, that's your duty to take care of you and your family. I've done my job. So, banks don't like Bitcoin. Taxis don't like Uber. Hotels don't like Airbnb. Bookstores definitely don't like Amazon. Cinemas don't like Netflix. 9-to-5s don't like remote work. Insurance companies, specifically life insurance, don't like living benefits. Innovation is not always liked, but it's absolutely necessary, you guys, for us to ensure impact beyond insurance. If you want to keep in touch with me, I like to just, in our agency, here's how you can find us. Follow us on social media. We are absolutely going out there and not being as secret of an agent anymore. We're so loud and proud about being a life insurance agent. We're going to make it sexy, cool, and relevant. Are you guys okay with that? Yeah? All right, a lot of hands here. Awesome. You want to follow me personally? I'm on podcasts. I speak at summits here and there. This is actually my first keynote, so you're probably going to see this. That's my link, and you can find all my social media, my Facebook, and everything else. And that's where we can keep in touch. I would love to keep in touch with you. I absolutely want to be one of the industry leaders. I've only been doing this for 8 years, but I'm telling you, I'm obsessed. When I say making living benefits is a moral, like accessible and available to everybody, it's literally a calling for me. Any questions, you guys? I still have 5 minutes? Yep. Okay. Any questions? It's so bright, I can't see you.
That's right. I'll let you know if I see anybody. Any questions for our presenter? Is there anything else you wanted to add?
Okay. Usually when I do this presentation, a lot of times people would ask me technical stuff. You guys want to know the technical side and how this is possible? Sure. All right. So here's a true story. A lot of times they're like, why would insurance do this? How can they make money? Or won't they lose money or they'll go bankrupt? In our agency a few years ago, we had a 32-year-old guy, Tesla worker, okay? He applied for $1 million policy, got elite rating, which means he's the lowest risk, super healthy, okay? A few months later, had a stroke, just in a few months. The insurance company came back and gave him an offer. Mr. Client, unfortunately you had a stroke and you did not die, hence life insurance you don't have to die to use. Here's an $849,000 check. If you take this offer of $849,000, which is 100% acceleration of your death benefit, you have 0 death benefit left. So if we do the math, he probably paid a few hundred, maybe a few thousand in premiums. But we gave him a check for $849,000. But because he didn't die, we got to discount. The insurance company actually saves money. It's a win-win-win situation because if he passed away from that stroke, we would have paid him how much? $1 million. But because he didn't die and he had a stroke, here's $849,000. I win, I save about $150. You make about $840 something and change. Is that all right? And sometimes we're like, why don't I get the whole $1 million? Can I put things in perspective for you? What if he didn't have the living benefit? He paid for an old policy that he had to die to use. He had 0 options. Living benefits, free, no additional premium, it's always better than death alone, period. Okay, and he also had the option to partially accelerate. Here's option 2. What if, Denise, I don't need $850,000. That's a lot of money. What if I just took half? Let's say $425 for math's sake. That $1 million prorates 50%, down to $500,000. $500,000 plus $425,000, that's $925,000 in benefits in total that he gets. I, as an insurance company, save $75,000 in future benefits because you didn't die. You gain $425,000 now, and you have $500,000 later that you can use for later. You won't get that stroke critical illness rider, but you get the chronic, terminal illness, and the critical injury that you can use and or for death. Win-win-win business. And that's what I'm all about. I sleep really well as a life agent. I love what I do. It's so rewarding because I know one day you're going to need me. One day. Most people get sick or disabled before they pass, and everyone dies. Okay, and I just want to give people money, right? And they'll just make, and that's how it works. So yeah, go ahead.
For the living benefit, do you have to ask for that, or is that something that's offered when you get the policy?
It's automatically added. Yep, unless you don't get approved. She has a question.
Yes.
So I'd just like to add to what you asked. You have to go through underwriting and get approved, so yeah. So my question to you, or rather I would like to add on to what you said. You know, I heard you say this word free a couple of times, but actually it's not free, and I think it's misleading to tell the clients that it's free, because if you run, for example, an illustration or a quote, let's say you're running a term insurance, right? So a policy without the living benefits is going to cost you a lower premium than a policy with the living benefits. Same in case of permanent policies. If you look at the cash value, the one without the living benefits is going to generate a much higher of a cash value. So, you know, I think when it comes to educating the client, it's always better to tell them the difference and educate them, yes, these are the benefits if you're getting the chronic and the critical, because terminal illness is kind of, you know, mostly all the companies used to offer those.
Yes.
Before these came into picture, these two additional benefits. But it's always better to tell them that, okay, these are the benefits that you get. This is how chronic works, this is how critical works, but then this is the difference in the cost. Because a lot of times, you know, for example, I'm a financial advisor, so I look at all the aspects, starting from retirement planning to the insurance, but you know, my clients who are engineers and doctors, they're like very picky about the numbers and all the costs involved and what all goes into the premium that they're paying. So I need to give them a breakdown, and this is what I explained to them. This is where the additional costs. Although I know I have seen a lot of companies, you know, tell the agents that it's free, but it's actually not free. It's inbuilt in the algorithm. Either you qualify for it or not. I mean, that's up to the underwriters. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. That was a good clarification,
Yeah.
but I didn't hear you say it was free. I heard you say there was no additional cost to
No
me.
additional cost.
Right, which to me, there was a difference there. Yeah.
And it's all right. I can say free is kind of relative. I've been doing this for quite a while. I work with financial advisors too. And I'll let you know, when we upgrade these policies to do comparisons, our rates are very competitive, even with living benefits. Because let's say there's policies without living benefits. Some rates are higher, some rates are lower. So rates are relative not only to underwriting mortality rates, but the cost of doing business with certain insurance companies. But I want to let you know, as far as relativity, if you're going to go with this company versus this company, same premium or less, one you have to die, one you don't have to die, one's fully loaded, the other one's not fully loaded, which one would you pick? So I just want to speak and simplify financial services in that sense. So that's where living benefits come in. When I'm saying it's very competitive, even with our term rates, I replaced so many different terms just with full living benefits. And what people found value, I'd rather pay, even if it was more expensive, I think most of my clients, and it's safe to say, I would rather pay $2 more and get a month to get an option to use my death benefit while I'm living versus not have an option. If you want me to break that down, usually as a broker, I go, here's the comparison. A lot of times I don't have to print out the costs and expenses because relatively, it's kind of like shopping for your car insurance, right? It's like, is Farmers cheaper than AAA, or is AAA, you're just shopping for them, contract to contract, fine print to fine print. Usually with living benefits, relatively as a package, it's better than just death benefit.
Great, thank you. And thank you for the underwriting
Great
clarification.
question, yeah.
Yeah, I really like that. So we're at time. Thank you
Okay.
so much for your presentation.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Brian.